The Confessions of a Hitman.
You first.
I'd say probably about 14, 15. I
Woo-wee.
always like the guns and getting shit for free. I ain't never want to work for no money.
So would you say you have a passion for robbing and killing?
Yeah, I say I killed
He
about
said,
5
yeah.
people in the past 2 or 3 years. So I know I'm going to hell.
In my conversation,
What the fuck? There's something wrong with these weird people, man. I'm
they
sorry,
think of
gang.
themselves as soldiers in a war.
How much do these cost?
It's anywhere from 5 to 30,000. It depending on who the target is.
So would you say there's a lot of guys walking around Milwaukee that have more than
Oh,
3
they in
bodies?
Milwaukee.
I know like multiple that got like 3, 4.
Crazy they in Milwaukee. We know about Lil Jeff and Q50 now. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
The FBI defines a serial killer as someone who has murdered 3 or more people. When we hear that, we traditionally think of white dudes like Jeffrey Dahmer or
Yeah.
John Wayne Gacy that
Yeah.
do freakish things to their victims.
Right.
But after spending time in some of the most dangerous neighborhoods across America, I've developed a theory. I think there are many active serial killers in the country right now, and
For
most
sure.
of them are gangsters operating out of the hood. I
For
mean,
sure.
you've heard of them. The shooter, the guy that loves spinning the block. We hear about them in rap music all the time. And
Yeah.
today, we meet with a guy who claims to be a hood hitman who engages in the business of murder for hire. And after months of FaceTiming with him, seeing him with new ghost guns nearly every time we speak, and hearing the details about hits that I feel only an insider would know, I suspect this guy might be for real. So join me today as we step into the mind of an alleged hitman and meet the underground gunsmith who...
It's in 2026. They got these motherfuckers. We got in 2026, bro. Before GTA 6, we got real life hitmen in Milwaukee snitching on themselves in a Tommy G video.
This is a certified hood classic.
builds him untraceable weapons for the job. But first, folks, a quick word from... The guys are just about to get here, but just so you know what's going through my head, to me, one of the toughest parts of the job is
Yeah.
knowing who's
You know-
legit and who's not. I've talked to these guys a bunch on the phone. I think they're real at what they say they do, but
Yeah.
we're gonna figure that out together.
We gonna
on this
figure
trip.
that out.
Let's get them.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, wherever the hell you at, it looked like that's where some killers be at, nigga. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
What's up, fellas?
I don't know where the hell
What do
he
you
at.
go by?
Got it.
What do you got there?
You know, just MVP with a switch on it.
How do you guys feel about doing this interview?
Well, let's do it. We finna see what's going on.
I guess my first question is, what made you guys interested in doing an interview?
Well,
Where the
first of
fuck
all,
are y'all
we
at?
understand the authentic news about everything. You know, it's a lot of fakers out here.
What would you guys describe your profession as?
I'm definitely a smacker. That's what we call it where I'm from. You know, I get paid to knock shit down, take a life, do whatever I gotta do. You want them dead, you call his phone. Where are you niggas?
The problem is, the crazy part about it, bro, is we in 2026 and I believe it's that time of the year again, tax time. Which is always stressful. Maybe you owe back taxes or you have unfiled returns. Or maybe you pulled money from your 401k and you got an unexpected bill. No matter the reason, the outcome is always the same. Penalties grow. You could owe money to the IRS, not even know it, and have no plan on how you're gonna pay them back. Let me tell you something right now. The IRS is not waiting. They can take your money through wage garnishments, means they can just take money straight out your paycheck. They can seize your properties and they can file without your consent. But with over 15 years in business, Tax Network USA has seen it all. And they've resolved over $1 billion in debt. Yes, I said 1 billion, my guy. No matter how big or small, they help taxpayers get back on track. And they can do the same for you, but you have to call now. They're offering a free investigation call with the IRS, and after you get off that call, they'll put a clear plan in place for you. Do not wait for another IRS letter. Call 866-418-6263 or visit tnusa.com/Mula or just click the link below. Taxes is a so you better stay on top of it. I believe them. FBI, open up! 10 years ago, what would that was? 2016. I probably would have been like, man, them niggas ain't killing no damn body if they on a documentary talking about it. Hell no. What the fuck? Now, I believe. I done seen stupider.
What part of the operation are you?
Gunsmithing. I built the gun shelter guns.
What area do you guys operate in?
We all around this motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. We're not even just based in the city of we in
I heard that was
we all
Chicago.
up in the city of
We in
we in
Chicago.
we all around this motherfucker.
How'd you get into this?
This shit all started at a very young age, brother. It ain't even start with the money, you know. Adapting to the environment. I'm a real product of our environment. So before the money came around with this shit, I've been doing this shit just out of people that don't like me and, you know, I don't like them.
How young did you get involved in the streets?
I'll say early age, at like 13, 14, when I really started popping outside.
13. That's when he got. That's when they brainwashed him about 13.
Out in the streets.
I had what I wanted to have. I only had what I needed. I grew up around this shit. This shit mandatory. I grew up in a single parent home. I had siblings.
And where was your dad in this picture?
You don't
I
know.
where the hell he was at.
Yeah.
He was one of them disappearing, you know. I don't know.
How old were you when you think you did your first shooting?
I'll say probably like 14, 15. It's just a night outside, you know, we playing with guns. I see a motherfucker, I want to impress who I'm with. I get to shooting at people. You get what I'm saying?
At least he admitted it.
Weirdo.
I want to impress people that I'm with. I see a nigga, I don't like him, I'm shooting at him because I want to impress y'all. I want y'all to think that I'm gangster and tough and really rough like that, yeah.
It seems like you have a real passion.
The lamest story ever in life, nigga.
Been lucky, yeah, since I was younger. Like 12 years old, I've been watching videos of guys. I had my dad walk the room before, and I had a phone, watching people just get shot and killed on YouTube and shit like that, when it wasn't too restricted.
How did you meet Gutta?
Oh, God, my brother, my blood brother.
Your Thanksgiving dinner tables are scary as I bet, dude. The first time you were involved in a shooting, was it for money? Was it for free?
There was some niggas on the porch, we walking past, they trying to walk up to us like, y'all ain't from here, type shit. And they didn't know we had pipes, because we look young, we don't look like we got pipe, we young out there, so they just want to try to hold niggas around and shit.
Do you know if they died?
I don't know.
How many murders would you guess you've done over the, and over what
What the
amount?
fuck?
Fought people in the past 2 or 3 years.
He said he didn't caught 5
Tell me
people in the
how
last 2 or
this
3 years.
career started.
It started where people know we getting shit done with the people that we already into it with ourselves. These niggas get up so much, you know, damn, we need some help. You get what I'm saying? This shit started around 17 and 16 and shit, where the money started coming in about this shit. There's some niggas out here that's scared of people they're into it with. There's some niggas that's out here not trying to run into them people. They scared of jail. They don't know how to get away with shit. I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? We doing this shit. No devices in the car. We covering up. We doing make every precaution we gotta make.
How do you know who it is that you're taking out?
I did a real good study of details before I go out there and just start with people. You don't know innocent bystanders for no reason. They ain't the ones that paid for it.
Mostly, are you taking out other street dudes?
Yes, that's 99%.
Tell me about your first murder for hire.
I think I was like 17, 18. I got 6 bands out of it.
Is there a particular hit you were-
$6,000. These motherfuckers is dumb, slow, and retarded. This is not, listen, the killer is always the stupid, dumb motherfucker. And we're gonna give his dumb ass 6,000 real quick. We're gonna convince him that he can't snitch, and we're gonna send him on a dummy mission. They ain't never been the fly niggas, the cool niggas. That ain't never been cool, shorty. Ever. Ever. When the fuck did that get cool? Y'all made that shit cool. The junkies and the killers. They always been the same person, but y'all made them cool.
remember very well?
On the where some niggas, I had sold a gun too, they ain't want it. So he was like, I want my money back. And I'm like, no, I don't do refunds and nothing like that. And so he got slick talking shit on the phone when they told that.
How many guys like you
What
think
the
there are
fuck?
in each hood around America?
Bro, it's real normal where we grow up at. I know niggas that never got on social media a day.
For sure.
In their life, man. Jersey numbers 10, 15 bodies. For
Okay.
no reason, you know what I'm saying?
The number you just threw out, what kind of time span are we talking about?
10 years, 8 years.
How do you prepare before you go out there?
As soon as they tell me who it is, I do my research for about a day or two. And I'm doing all type of Facebook investigations, Instagram investigations. I'm gonna see exactly what the fuck it is before I come over there. In this city, we CCAP niggas. They got all your information on there from when you got locked up, whatever you tell your lawyer.
That's crazy.
Your arresting officers, the judge, your address, your full name, your date of birth, all your information is up there.
And did you say the majority
fucked
of guys that you take out are on CCAP?
They on there, hell yeah. They in the streets, so they got locked up before.
Let that motherfucker up.
So we talked a lot about this happening on foot in front of a house. Do you guys actually ever go into someone's house?
Yeah, see, that's a situation where some of these niggas don't like to come outside, so we gotta come in that bitch.
How do you get into someone's house?
Bro, we kick doors, all type of shit. You wanna play inside the house games, we'll put a on your ass. That's how niggas is. Niggas think with their dick all the time.
So you have a honeypot situation?
A lot of them. All she want is a little piece of change.
Isn't that a pretty big witness at the crime?
She ain't gonna say shit. She know what come with this shit.
Have you guys ever been shot at?
Yeah, a lot of times.
You guys ever been hit?
I got hit one time. I got hit my arm. I got stomach shots too, but that shit don't count. Man. That shit too many years ago. That was before I started saying that, so I don't
Yeah, that don't count. That was way, yeah.
believe in that shit.
What time of day are you doing house jobs?
Anytime. It don't matter. As soon as the money clear, we in route.
But what makes you do that rather than, say, become a welder?
Bro, I'm a felon, but I can't do all that shit. And then I ain't have a passion for all that.
What? Sounds stupid. Yes, you can be a welder. Niggas is felons and electricians all the time. What the fuck are you talking about?
That shit growing up, I always liked the guns and getting shit for free. I ain't never want to work
See,
for
a dumb, stupid loser, slow motherfucker. I ain't never want to think about none of that shit, man. I ain't trying to do that. I want stuff for free, man. Shit, I'm trying to say.
nobody.
So would you say you have a passion for robbing and killing?
Yeah, I started robbing at like 12 years old. I still do it to this day, but I was stealing out the store. My mama was shopping and shit. That's 8-year-old shit.
And did your mom encourage that?
Hell no, my mama was strict as hell. She don't like none of this shit I do.
Lord have mercy. That's Chicago right there.
Can you give us an estimate of how many murder scenes you think you've seen in your career?
Hundreds and hundreds.
What is the legal definition of a serial killer?
A serial killer is a person that kills in a series and not as opposed to like a mass murderer who walks into a school or a church and shoots as many people as they can.
Right.
How many bodies does someone have to be considered a serial killer?
You know, I would say that you have to have more than 2 or 3, 4.
Yeah.
So this is one of those stories that's really hard to verify. Fentanyl dealers, hey, send me the fentanyl. I can see it on FaceTime. It's easy. Every
Right.
time I call this guy, he has a new ghost gun. The last time I called him, he had a rapper's chain that he had, I guess, stolen by force at gunpoint.
Holy
So he
shit.
definitely does shit.
He does
The question
something.
is, are his numbers inflated? So we're
Right.
going to talk to some street guys that I think can give us some clarification that maybe this guy's legit, maybe he's not. Because I really don't know in this story.
There you go, Tommy. You getting smart now, boy. Now you need a helmet too, now, nigga. You need to get you a helmet
today.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Jay Grits? How you doing, brother? Good to meet you.
Jay Grit,
Okay.
street nigga. Tommy, did you type nigga? No, I'm just playing.
You said it before. How did you label yourself?
It says
street
street nigga.
I wanted to get a couple
Street, nigga. You can say
opinions.
nigga.
No, I can't. But I wanted to get a couple opinions on this alleged hitman that I've met. If someone wants someone dead, does it make sense to go outside of your clique and ask someone that you don't even know to
You
bring
know what
you
I'm
in?
saying? That's what I was saying more than like the personal relationship shit. Like they have to really know each other to even put that trust and say, "Oh, I trust bro
And
to
I
go,"
feel like you gonna really
and
take
not tell on me.
because niggas can't keep their mouth shut anyway. So nigga know about know.
So the chance of someone keeping their mouth shut for 10, 15 plus murders is very unlikely.
I ain't never seen shit like that. Like
Hell
here,
nah.
like, I done seen niggas get 5 and over the course of 20 years.
Do you know that to be considered a serial killer, that means 3 bodies or more? So would you say there's a lot of guys walking around Milwaukee that have more than 3 bodies?
Hell
I know
yeah.
like multiple that got like 3, 4.
What to you are the key parts of having a successful mission?
You can't have your identity shown. Wear some outstanding shit like wear a wig or some shit. Wear big ass saggy clothes or some shit like that. Ride the block, see who in it. I get out the car down the street. We walking up to this motherfucker and we fucking everybody up on the port. I'm expecting more money for this extra money.
You kill the whole family.
We gonna fuck them up. It depends, bro. I ain't trying to do shit to no kids.
They also say that when there are witnesses around the guy that they have to hit, that they also sometimes take out the witnesses. Is that common in a hood hit?
Not super common,
Yeah,
really.
no, that's
because
like some mafia
It does
shit.
happen. but killing all of the witnesses is not typical, I would say, in gang hits, because there might be 20 people on the street. What you're counting on there is the high likelihood that people are just not going to cooperate with the police.
For those doubting that somebody can get away with multiple bodies, consider this. In many cities across the United States, the clearance rate, or in other words, the solve rate for murders, can be ridiculously low, especially during the early 2020s COVID period, which was a golden era for getting away with crime. For example, in recent years, Chicago has had clearance rates as low as 30%, and Flint, Michigan as low as 21%. And keep in mind, in gang-dominated neighborhoods, these are places
you gotta think about it like this. Okay, so only 21% of all murders got solved from 2013 to 2022. That means 80% of the murders you don't even know. You don't know shit. You can't solve nothing. Then you gotta put it like this: the 20% that you did solve, a certain percentage of them is wrong. Let's say like 2 or 3% of them is wrong. They ain't do it. At least they ain't do what you said they did. So now, think about what you talking about, folks. That shit crazy for real.
Low is 21%.
Why y'all ain't tell me my shirt was glitching
in
out?
gang-dominated neighborhoods, these are places that typically don't work with police. So to me, the idea of someone getting away with a few murders, while shocking, is certainly plausible.
If their goal is to remain under detection by killing everyone at a scene, does that not put them at the top of the food pyramid for priority for police?
Absolutely, for sure.
Let's go further into their tactics. They say they also outfit their guns with switches when they do that. Is that a good tactic or a dumb tactic?
Unless they've gotten military training and know how to handle an automatic weapon, it usually doesn't work out that great for them, you know what I mean? Automatic weapons are a lot more difficult to deal with than people think. You can do a lot of damage quickly.
So these guys also said that if they're taking someone out, if there's witnesses around that person, that they shoot everybody at the crime scene. Does that sound legit?
That's what you supposed to do.
That's what you should do. I mean, I wouldn't say you should. I mean, it's not what you should do, but
niggas is not doing that in the hood, bro.
That's the way.
I feel like that turns one shooting into a mass shooting.
Exactly.
You don't think that brings a lot more attention to the scene?
It probably do, but it's a murder already, so what do we care?
How much do these cost?
It's anywhere from 5 to 30,000. It depends on who the target is.
What's typical?
5 to 30,000 is not like what the fuck? That ain't nothing.
That's 10,000 right there.
Your most common client is a rapper that wants another rapper dead?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Why don't they just do it themselves?
Niggas be on some weird shit.
They know me, or they scared, or I ain't trying to go risk my freedom for this shit. And, you know, it's a ballpark of excuses, bro.
Hell yeah.
I don't give a fuck what's going on unless I want my money, you know what I'm saying?
How do they communicate with you?
It's usually through FaceTime because that's the most untrackable thing. If it's some out-of-state shit and I gotta go out-of-state for some shit, but really it's a pull up, bro. I'll chop it up with you.
You'll travel out of state to do this?
Yeah, but I need a deposit.
And you'll do that for 10 grand?
I'll do it. Hell yeah, that's free money for me, bro.
Can you tell me about the psychological profile?
That's free money for me. Oh my God, nigga.
Of these hood hitmen that are just willing to kill someone for very low amounts of money?
In my conversations with them, they think of themselves as soldiers in a war. They don't think of themselves as serial killers, certainly. They think of serial killers as sexual deviants. I mean, when you grow up in poverty without hope, or without, structure in your life, and your structure becomes the street, and it's violence, and that's all you see, and that's what you get rewarded for. In fact, I would argue places like the west side of Chicago, the south side of Chicago are war zones.
Hell yeah.
It becomes glorified inside the community, inside of those tight-knit circles, the people you're looking up to. If you're a 10, 11-year-old kid, the guys you're looking up to be, unfortunately, the 17, 18-year-old guys, and that's what they're talking about. You know, putting this guy down, you know, running up on these guys and that. And it starts to
That's why I say the streets is the biggest send-off in history. Because it's like you come up around the hood already. Like he said, it is a war zone. It's really not no different than living in Afghanistan or, you know what I'm saying, someplace like that where it's just going down all the time. Bombs, missiles. It's really no different. You know what I'm saying? So in those environments, like if me and you was on the military and we is in the middle of Afghanistan, in the middle of a war, and you knock out 50 people and save the whole platoon, and we get back to base and everybody's safe and nobody got harmed and you saved everybody's life, we gonna be like, yeah, like that's gonna turn you up. That's what you want to do. That's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same way in the streets. Like now you around all these niggas that's talking about, yeah, boy, doing showing guns. They show them that shit. You can see it on music videos right now. It'll be 11, 10-year-old kids in the music videos with these niggas. You know what I'm saying? And that's all they see every day, all day. So that's what they gonna do. That's what they think. That's what they get praised for. That's what end up being cool. Then once it's cool, it's over with.
And if you grow up in Garfield Park, and you haven't seen a dead body by the time you're 12 or 13, you are an anomaly. These guys are really, for all intents and purposes, are serial killers. That put guys in prison who killed more people than most serial killers.
How have ghost guns changed the game in your business?
So first off, we did this interview. When I had my CCL, ATF came and took that bitch like a couple months after that. After that, we got
Why is he giving? So if this the only thing though, like understand, like if you really for real and you really catching bodies and doing whatever you doing, why are you on here giving us details about this shit? Like the FBI just can't go in their AI systems and be like, who got a concealed carry license, and then the ATF took in the last month that lives in Milwaukee or the Midwest. It's gonna come up with 100 people. Then they're gonna look at the 100 people and like, okay, out of the 100 people, only 30 of them black. So let's look at the 30 people. Okay, out of the 30 people, only between this age and that age, and they like, I don't know, this shit's
dragging down the street. We get ready to take votes somewhere and shit. But right before we pull up to the motherfucking house, we see police on one side of the street, the other on the other side. One of them came down the street, did a U-turn and flagged our shit. We pull over, and they ass hop out. We trying to hide guns and shit, but couldn't hide them. I mean, if it's on your side of the car, they gonna put that bitch on you, type shit. It was people in the back seat and in the front, so we couldn't really hide the guns. Well, they took us to jail and shit. They took one of the guns they thought was a rare gun. It was an M&P with a switch. That motherfucker was legal. They ended up letting me out like a few days to a week afterwards. They kept the gun and shit. They ain't trying to release no guns to me. And right now, the site that I got the FRT from, they ain't selling them no more to the ATF, like, investigate the device, how it worked for real.
But the ATF connected a lot of guns that were used in murder weapons to you?
Yeah, I had a lot of guns out there in my name. I got at least over 1,000 guns in my name out there in Texas.
What would you do with a gun after a hit?
Immediately sell it. It'd be posted before the shit even happened. I'll have motherfuckers lined up for like the next day or the same day, and it'll already be sold.
They also say they ditch guns in bodies of water, or they break the guns down, scramble the parts, and resell the different assembled guns to YNs. Do you think that is a good strategy to get rid of the guns?
Getting rid of a gun in bodies of water or whatever is generally a good strategy. Reusing them is a less of a good strategy.
Less of a good strategy.
You know, you always run the risk that there's maybe some common denominator with a piece that is led back. You know what I mean?
What do you think is unique about your approach that has allowed you to
This some crazy shit we watching. I want y'all to know that.
Bro, I done got investigated for this shit before, multiple times. But like I said, the phones and the motherfucking hidden identities and camera actions and shit like that, that'd be the thing, bro.
What do you mean by hidden identities and camera actions?
Like, don't catch yourself on fucking camera, you know, stupid. And then, when you do this hit with this outfit, you never wear it again. And like, I always tell people you wear a different size shoe as you run away from the crime.
I'm not gonna lie though, bro. It's crazy as fuck. I never wanted to be the nigga to be saying this type of shit, though. What the fuck is wrong with my damn shirt? But this is everything he's saying, bro, is literally like what I used to hear. That from niggas that caught bodies and did hits and shit like that. This is the type of shit I used to hear. Wear a different size shoe with a bunch of socks on, so you know what I'm saying? Or get rid of the gun, break it up in different garbage cans around the city, and you know what I'm saying? Bury the clothes in bleach before you burn them, or burn them real quick, or whatever the case. Like I always heard this type of shit. It's crazy. I just ain't never want to be the one to say it on it, you know?
Possible DNA, shoe sizes, you know what I'm saying?
The guys I'm interviewing say they use ghost guns that they mill themselves, which we watch them do. They never touch the body of their victim. They sometimes wear shoes that are different sizes to each crime, and they never carry a cell phone during the crime. How would you grade their killing strategy?
That's a good strategy. You're taking a lot of the forensic stuff out of it, right? Cell phone towers now have been for a long time. If you can track a suspect's cell phone to a scene, that's really good circumstantial evidence based on other factors, weapons, all of that. You know, if all of that is true, then yeah,
it's pretty hard to get
read
caught
that in a book. You know what I mean?
You know, I've traveled to a lot of different types of people, cultures. I've pretty much seen it all in the United States. One observation I've had is that backdooring, you don't find it anywhere else more than in a black hood. People willing to kill each other, willing to rob their friend for like the lowest amount of money. Like you don't see that in Asian neighborhoods. You don't see that in white neighborhoods. What do you think that is?
You wanna know something that's crazy? I'm gonna bring up an example. Every time I went to jail and shit, like, if you observe, when the black people come in, the other black people looking at them some type of way, trying to find out, oh, this nigga a rat, this nigga a snitch, I'm on his ass, I'm gonna take something.
When the Mexican people come in, they be like,
people come in,
they come together.
People, they all together chilling. When the Mexican people come in,
yeah,
you good, they help them with their shit. I really feel like with black people, it's a jealousy and envy thing. We always got AR-15s, micro AR-15s to be specific. We ain't have no big ass guns.
Why is that?
It's the easiest to get around with. It's concealable.
How many guns do you think you've sold in your life?
Definitely over 3,000 guns.
So you know your way around guns?
Yeah, for sure.
If a gun you sell is
the crazy part, if this nigga can do this, whatever he doing with this machinery, he can make $250,000 doing this shit for a company. More money, don't have to hide his identity, don't gotta kill people, don't gotta go to hell, don't gotta go to jail. I don't get it. I really just don't get it, folks. It's something in me that just refuses to let me understand what the fuck is wrong with these niggas.
Using a hit. What do you think about that?
Some are using a hit. I wouldn't say. I'll say about, if it, just an estimate, if it was about 3,000 guns I sold, I'll say about at least 500-600 was used.
Because of time constraints, we cannot show this full video on YouTube. But if you would like to see this whole video, raw and uncut on Patreon, use code AR15 for 50% off your first month on the site. Thank you and enjoy. Now back to the episode.
We saw with our own eyes ghost guns and the milling of those guns. Do you think that alone suggests these guys have some level of experience in something nefarious?
Yeah, I mean, they have other factors. Like, I mean, they could just be trying to impress you, right? But beyond that, they may be selling bullshit guns, right? They may be convincing people that these are really, you know, something special. So it could be a scam, but it also may be an active thing that works. So they make these guns to sell them.
It sounds like you could literally not give a shit if this ends up being a weapon that someone uses to kill someone with.
No. There's many weapons out there. The government sell weapons that kill people. It just depends on the person.
It feels like you kind of have a cold heart towards the world.
Yeah.
Do you believe in heaven or hell?
No.
Are you scared of going to hell?
No. I tell my mama many times, I know I'm going to hell.
Why do you say that?
Because I know a lot of the shit that I did.
I thought you ain't believe in it.
I'm not going to prison. I'd rather bang it out with the police. I'm gonna be reborn, so.
How old were you when you saw your first dead body?
14.
And your home life at this time was all right?
Yeah. You weren't being abused? Nope.
There wasn't any man in the house beating the shit out of you?
Nope.
A lot of people look at the impact of drill rap on culture and they say that it's a cancer, that it's leading to so many murders and deaths and shootings and poverty and fucked up situations. Do you think drill rap is a negative impact on our society?
Hell yeah, bro. That shit play a big ass part because everybody want to fit in, bro.
If a mom gets killed, if a kid gets killed,
everybody
an accountant gets killed, and a super street guy gets killed, the super street guy is less prioritized simply because he's not as innocent.
If this is the murder guy, he's a really bad guy, it's we really want to solve that because he's likely killed by another really bad guy. And the truth of the matter, however harsh this sounds, if you solve that murder and get the bad guy who killed him, now you've taken two bad guys off the, or two bad guys have been taken off the street.
I got you.
We're going to get more cooperation if some mom who's walking home with her groceries gets caught in a crossfire. We just are, because even the neighborhoods that don't want to cooperate as much with us are going to be more cooperative, because that's wrong on its face. Where, you know, if
that's what's wrong with the hood, though. Everything that's right is everything wrong is right. Everything right is wrong in the hood. Like, what the hell? If I see a nigga come over here and kill Ray Ray, and the whole neighborhood, the whole block just saw his nigga kill Ray Ray. We love Ray Ray. Ray Ray the neighbor. Ray Ray be taking our daughter and walking our dogs and cutting our grass or whatever. And we see who did it. And we come outside and we all band together and we say it was that nigga. Okay, great. It's very sad. Ray Ray gone. We love Ray Ray. Rest in peace, Ray Ray. Imaginary Ray Ray. But we also got the killer. So now the neighborhood is a safer place because the killer is gone. So now we can just all rejoice, come together, hold hands, and live for Ray Ray and remember Ray Ray. Or we could not say nothing. We could all be mad, and then we can go kill the person who killed Ray Ray, and then they gonna kill the person who killed the person that killed Ray Ray. Then they gonna kill the person who killed the person that killed the person that killed Ray Ray, and it's just gonna keep going on forever and ever and ever. And then one day you wake up, you the last nigga on the block. Everybody then killed each other or moved out the block because it was too dangerous. Which one make most sense, folks?
In some of these really challenged, underprivileged neighborhoods, and you're just trying to get by life day to day, mind your own business, stay alive, and the guy you know who's the bad guy down the street gets shot, it's like, I mean, I've had these very specific conversations with people like, come on, detective, I mean, that guy's been a pain in my ass, been a pain in the neighborhood for years, and now he's gone. You want me to put myself at risk to help you out? Would you? I mean, you know, like, and how do you argue that point?
Tell me more about the attitude of, like, we gotta do it, as if, like, you have no other options.
At some point, we ain't had no other options, and then it's just at this point now.
You always got options. Niggas
an option, but we so deep in this shit, like, changing it now, what the f for? Because it's already what we, like, doing for real.
That didn't make no sense. We already doing it for real, so why change up now? So that you don't die or go to jail, bro. What the fuck do you mean?
Weirdo.
You tweaking. Come on, man. That ain't smart. That's not smart. This nigga building guns, man. I can't do that shit.
So your neighbors must hear a lot of strange noises coming from your house.
Yeah, probably.
Do you live in situations like duplexes or apartments where you have neighbors that can hear through the walls?
A lot of the banging shit, I do it in like a closed door far back of the house where people can't really hear. Man, most of the time, I probably do this shit in the garage or something.
Who is letting you do this
Would
shit
you
in the
feel bad
house?
if you
Your
killed
mama?
me?
I wouldn't kill you.
Why not? What if someone paid you to do it?
I'll kill them for trying to pay to do it.
My dog.
So obviously we don't want anyone to die in the filming of this video, so we're gonna do a recreation. I asked them to simulate what does a real life call look like if you're negotiating a hit. So what you're about to see is that.
Oh no. Who's that? Yo, what I was finna say, hey, I got a big move going on, man. There's a lot of money on the floor right now. I need y'all to meet me at the big house. All right, bet. So we on the way. All right, bet. Make y'all wait. Be in like 5 minutes. Yeah, it's the business, dog. All right. Don't play with that money, man. You know how this shit is.
What is it like?
I said don't play with that money, man.
It's really normal. But it's gonna be on your mind all the time. When you take a motherfucking life.
But I mean, it ain't normal.
Like same day, next day, your ass don't want to really go outside. You gonna feel like weak. Like, damn, why I do this to this motherfucker?
But you feel regret usually for the day or two after?
Yeah, because you gonna see your family online crying and shit. And some of these people you might not even know you can really be related to. Because it happened before.
Has there ever been a job that's haunted you or woken you up at night thinking about it?
Hell yeah.
It woke me up at night. But I do think about shit all the time. I be thinking about that shit sometimes. Because it is some of these people that I knew personally, like you said, and I was like, damn, but I needed the money. It's backdoor as a bitch, but I grew up around backdoor ass shit.
What do you think about that?
That's why they gotta stay high, shorty. That's why you think they the junkies. All the junkies are the killers. All the killers are the junkies.
Somebody's life was worth money for you.
I don't think too much of it, but because they'll do the same with me if they had the opportunity to.
What do you see the next 10, 15 years?
Yeah, I see myself in the next 10, 15 years at a point in life where we don't gotta do this shit. I don't wanna live in the United States no more. I gotta get the fuck out of here because my face is too bad. Rich as hell in another country.
Folks, that was a wild episode.
So earlier they were saying, shit, ain't no point in changing my life. Then he said in 10 or 15 years, we gonna move to another country and be rich. So that means you want to change your life. You're just not trying to. These niggas is crazy. If y'all watch shit like this and think it's cool, God bless you, nigga. I ain't got nothing for you.
This is a certified hood classic.
No gap, man.